Hello and welcome to this video all about the Blackpool Illuminations. So I thought it would be best to start and end this video at home, away from all the noise and the people and the children especially, so that you could actually hear what we're talking about. So mid-November, myself and my fiance Pete went up to Blackpool to have a weekend away, and as part of that we wanted to look at the illuminations because it's something neither of us have done or haven't done for a long time, so that we remember it basically. So we had a look at the lights over 2 nights. Our first night was incredibly windy. We didn't get very far because it was a bit painful, to be honest, and then the second night we went all the way up to the north end of the lights to see all of that, so we got further. So I would like to caveat this saying we didn't get all the way down to like the Pleasure Beach side of Blackpool and the lights down there. I don't know what's down there to comment, and if bright lights and flashing lights is something that isn't good for you, then I would advise switching off this video just because of the nature of it. So without any further rambling, let's go to past Pete and Faye looking at all the lights, and then we can come back with some thoughts. The shiny train.
Yeah.
So that's one way to see the lights, I think.
That's kind of cool. There's a boat to boat stickers on.
And then we've got...
I guess you can board the boat or the train or
yeah.
That's all the rules.
I guess the people inside the poppy are people from Blackpool.
Yeah, the Royal. Well, that one's for women, that one's for, yeah.
Yes. They don't really show up, but these mermaids are kind of creepy. So we've come up to what I assume is the far north of the illuminations. And this is not what I was expecting. Not just the things in between the roads.
It was Ted! Sick of telling you! Probably. Yeah, don't like proper. No, we don't. Oh, right, yeah, it's off the
This is budget Pirates of the Caribbean for you. The person behind us said, is that reference not a bit outdated? But at least they're playing City and Swoop cartoons, so you know what they're talking about. And everyone always forgets Sue. Can you guess the nursery rhymes? 2.
That's why I have something.
It's Disco Pete. Again, the reference. Should it be updated? Or is it a classic? Having never really done the Illuminations before, I don't really have a comment.
Exterminate!
Dancing skeleton.
I loved Noddy when I was a kid, but I don't think he's called Big Ears anymore, is he? No. So that's the end of the Illuminations. Certainly these tableaus are much more impressive than the rest of the stuff we've seen, but I did really enjoy that light tunnel. But when I'm not around lots of people, children, I will give you more thoughts on them. But one last thing, here are some bears on a swing. So there you have it. That was what we saw of the Blackpool Illuminations. I don't think it was quite what I was expecting, to be honest. I'd obviously heard a lot about it. It's one of those things that's sort of in the British psyche, but I don't think that's what I was expecting. The part right at the beginning, if you're starting at the north end and working your way down, I liked that much better because of the big tableaus. It was more what I was expecting from the Illuminations. But even saying that, they were a bit old and clunky, and as I mentioned a few times in that, some of the references were kind of outdated. Although I do now understand all the Sooty references, because Sooty was actually from Blackpool, which is something I didn't know and found out when we were wandering somewhere. It did just feel a bit old and a bit underwhelming, I think is probably the word I would use. Other than those big tableaus, there wasn't a lot else other than like strings of light in between the road. And yes, it was pretty, but to just walk it, it was quite tedious. There was a lot of patches where there was just sort of the same thing to look at or nothing to look at. And I don't know, I think I was just expecting more from it. As I said, we didn't make it all the way down to the south end, so there may be more of those sort of tableaus down there that I'm not aware of. I did really like how the tower looked and the projections on there, and the fact that the tower changed colour and it was really pretty, and then obviously wherever you were you could see that central point, which I liked a lot. And that light tunnel I did really enjoy, and we did get some good photos in there, so I'll add them in now. But would I go again? I don't think I would make a trip particularly for that. If something else was going on Blackpool and they happened to be on, I might have a look. I'd probably go towards the bit that I haven't seen. Listening to some of the conversations of people like walking past us as we were doing it, it does seem like it's the same things every year. There's not a lot of new stuff. So I probably wouldn't make the trip. Certainly from London it's about 5 hours to do the Illuminations, just the Illuminations. If it would be an extra add-on if it was there and I just happened to be there at the same time. And obviously it's in winter, so, and you're by the sea, and it does get rather chilly and windy and all of that, and I was a bit ill prepared, certainly for that first night, to do that. Just a little short video of our experience of the Illuminations. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you want to subscribe, we've got the next part of the Blackpool trip coming up, and then we'll head on into Christmas. So that's what's next, and I will see you in one of those videos. Bye!